Welcome to the Rhonda Effect podcast, intuitive guidance for executives and entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Rhonda Arnott, and thank you for joining me today. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to me on the podcast, I am very grateful you're here. Last week, I had an interesting week, I will say. I went up north to our cottage and I have the opportunity to work my corporate job remotely. So I can go anywhere in the world and I can still stay plugged in. And it was interesting because the more I heard up there from spirit, relax, settle down, have some fun, the more customers were coming to me, the more questions I was being asked, the more orders I was putting in. It was amazing. But what I also heard was take some time for yourself. Now, being up north, you would think that, you know, you would take some time for yourself, but it's a small cottage compared to our house. And I don't always take time for myself up there. This time I intentionally did that. And when I say intentionally, I mean I took the boat and I went out by myself. Now, that's not abnormal. I've done that before, but that was many, many years ago. I haven't done that, like I said, in many years. And when I felt that intuitive nudge, I said to my husband, I need to take some time and I need to go out on the lake with the boat, obviously, and just be with me. He's like, go, go. So I did. And what happened next was quite interesting because I didn't see this coming. I knew there was something stirring in my spirit, but honestly, I didn't know what was coming. So I got to our favorite spot, dropped anchor. I mean, it's in this bay. So I was, kind of sheltered from any wind, definitely from any noise, except for the birds singing or um, the loons that were crying. They're so beautiful. So beautiful. Have you ever heard loons cry? I find them extremely, extremely powerful. And they were crying. So I got to listen to that as well. And I'm all by myself. This lake is not a large lake. It is surrounded by a forest, crown land, and there's nobody there. I'm strictly by myself. So as I as I started settling into just sitting and being, again, I felt an intuitive nudge and I felt that I needed to put on some of this music. So I had downloaded music prior because, again, intuitive nudge. Thank goodness, because there's no Wi-Fi. You can't get a signal. So when I downloaded this music, I played it. And it was all about being quiet and connecting to Holy Spirit and just listening, divine guidance, your angels, your archangels. And as I was listening to this music, I started to speak out loud. So we have a pontoon boat, and I was standing at the front of the pontoon boat, just listening to this music, and I started talking to God. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had a conversation with God? I've had many conversations. This one was a little different. Um, I was wrestling with God. Now, if you've ever wrestled with God, you know exactly what happens. If you have never wrestled with God or a higher entity, source, universe, it can be it opens your soul. And I specifically said to God, I am not leaving this place until I hear you answer me. I even gave God, I even gave God what I wanted. I wanted to see a large bass in the water. The water is clear. I can see the vegetation. I can see the little perch and little bass float, like swimming around. The odd big pike comes through. But I specifically said, God, I want to see a bass. And I said, I am not leaving this place until you answer me. And what came next was pretty bold. But why not? Why not be bold? Why not put our requests out there to God, source, the universe? Why do we hold back? This time I didn't hold back. I spoke to God like God was standing right there. And I just let my soul speak. And there were tears because of what was being brought back to my memory are things that I've asked for before. Big dreams, big goals. I wanted to be a mom. I never had that pleasure. Some people may say it's not pleasure, but coming from me, what I wanted to be a mom. There was no reason for my husband and I not to be able to have children, conceive children. We have unexplainable infertility. And how do you justify that when there's a God of the universe, or God source, the universe is bigger than I, has the power to do and fulfill our dreams? So I really wrestled with God. This has been many years. I am past the age of desiring to have children. And I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with that. I love my life. I love the journey that I've been on. It's just something that was still unsettled within. So I wrestled with God. And he clearly said, you have many, many children. Look around you. And at that point, I knew what God meant. I have many friends that have children that really have taken under my wing. I have cousins that I call nieces. I have a niece. And that was something that was obviously troubling me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have brought that up. Holy Spirit would not have brought it to my conscious mind to finally let go. And it's not that God didn't want to fulfill a big dream or make me sad or carry this burden. That was my choice. That was my choice to carry a burden that was never mine to carry. So as I was wrestling with God on this, I was saying, well, you didn't fulfill that. What makes me so sure that I can trust you and believe in you to fulfill these big dreams that I keep feeling, that I keep sensing and seeing? And I allowed God to speak. I even took my journal, if I could find it. Oh, I found it. It's behind me. I even took my journal with me. And I wanted to know what God was going to say. And what he said, it wasn't happening, these unfulfilled dreams, it wasn't happening to me. It was happening for me. And I know we've all heard that, but it wasn't my journey. The same thing I wrestled with when I lost my first husband. He passed away of cancer many years ago. And again, that was brought up to me at this moment in time. And I thought, why are you bringing this up, God? And he wanted to tell me something that he's never told me before. In the stillness, he said to me, that wasn't your journey. That was his. You got to be part of it. And you blessed him with your love. And I thought, oh my gosh, I never saw it that way. And then I reverted back. Well, what makes me think that I can believe you going forward? And he just said, there's healing in these waters. I want you to immerse yourself. And I didn't quite understand. So me being me, I sat down and stuck my feet in the water. And I could literally feel all this stuff coming out of the soles of my feet. It was like I was being purged. The word purged is in my head. And I kept saying, okay, I'm releasing. And all I kept hearing was, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I could feel this joy just come over me. And it was so cool. I was just reading parts of my journal. And what God said to me was, as you pour out into this water, you are making more room for greatness. So once again, I said, God, tell me, what I don't know how I could believe in you. And God said to me, it doesn't matter, Rhonda, I believe in you. That stopped me, stopped me. Gotta have a little sip of my matcha first before I continue here. That stopped me. Rhonda, I believe in you. I felt this change in my energy, my soul, that any dreams or any goals that I had that were what I perceived unfulfilled were actually fulfilled, but in different ways. How many goals or dreams have you had in your past that you have perceived as unfulfilled or maybe not accomplished? God doesn't see it that way. At that moment, I knew that my big dreams and my big goals were going to come to fruition. Now, remember, I asked to see a bass. I wrestled with God. When I got up from putting my feet in that water, I felt renewed. And I thought, okay, God, let's do this. Let's bring the light forward. And from that moment, I have been on fire. It has been so incredible. And I know you're asking, did you see the bass? The answer is not right at that moment, because I also heard Holy Spirit say to me, you're going to get something better. And I thought, how could I get anything better than a request that's being fulfilled? Well, in God's infinite way, that very next morning, I actually caught a massive bass. And the moment when my husband said, that's a bass, and a big bass on your line, because we went out fishing, in case you didn't realize that, in case I didn't speak that. He said, that is, and he was all excited. Now, let me tell you about Scott. When he gets excited when we're fishing, it's like the whole lake knows. He's like this kid. He's saying, you've got a big bass on your line. And as I'm reeling it in, this thing is really fighting me. And all of a sudden it jumps out of the water. And I'm like, oh My gosh, I reel it in. It took a while, but I was reeling it in, and there was this massive bass, and I had to laugh because I thought, "Yes, God, you gave me something better." Now, fast forward to today. That was only last week. So fast forward to today. Ever since that day, which was only last week, and today, I've been seeing angel signs everywhere. Not only do I see hearts everywhere while I was up there, I saw hummingbirds, which weren't around for the longest time. Hummingbirds represent my mother. My mother has gone on to the other side of the veil, and she was even with me. I could feel her, and I could feel her today. So she showed me a sign. She's there. God showed me the sign, something bigger. I've been seeing angel numbers, 444, specifically 444 everywhere. License plates, time, things pop up on my screen. And what 444 represents is that your team of light is with you. Your spirit team is with you. They're guiding you. They're helping you fulfill. I thought, okay, that's amazing. So then I thought, before I come on this podcast, I was struggling a little bit for what to say. So I thought, I'm going to pull a card, see what the card says, and go from there. So I did. So remember, I've been seeing signs. God has given me a sign. I've wrestled with God. He's given me words. Holy Spirit is like dropping in and just pouring out. I pull this card, and it is called New Beginnings. And what this card I felt Spirit say to me was new beginnings are coming. There are doors being opened to you, and you are ready. We are with you, and there's going to be no stopping you. Your light is going to shine so bright, people are going to need sunglasses. And I know that people have said to me for a long time, you shine bright, like the shining star. And all I keep getting in my head is shine bright like a diamond. but that's okay. But it's my time to shine. My dreams and my goals, your dreams and your goals are going to come to fruition. Sometimes they're not exactly like we as humans have put onto God or source or universe. But if we have the courage to speak them out and start walking them out, I will guarantee you will have them fulfilled. Guaranteed. Because there is no stopping this girl, and I know there is no stopping you. I can feel Holy Spirit come in right now and saying to people that are listening, to people that are watching, do not stop your dreams and goals for anyone or any situation. I have put those dreams and goals in your heart, in your mind, and I will bring them to fruition. They may not be exactly as you perceive them, but they will be fulfilled. I do nothing unless I fulfill it. Now that's a powerful word. Yeah, very powerful. I'm going to end it there. If this podcast or this YouTube video has resonated with you, please drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you tell all your friends. And never give up. Never give up. If you need to find me, go to Instagram under my name, Rhonda.Arnott, and send me a DM. I want to know what your big dreams and goals are. Let's gather round and boost each other up and really speak life into your dreams and goals. Take care. Until next time.